Welcome back, everybody, to Trekyards. I am Captain Foley.
Connor Cogs.
How you doing, guys? Welcome back. We have things to talk about today. The elephant in the room, so to speak. First time seeing the Enterprise F. We've talked to Adam Eel, the designer of this thing, years past in Trekyards. It's a long story of it was a contest for Star Trek Online. The Odyssey class became the Enterprise, and it was great. But then we saw it in live action in Picard. It was going to be epic. After 15 years of service, it was an early decommission for it. So we see it on its decommissioning day, which is also Federation or Frontier Day. And it was great. I was happy to see it. Were you happy to see it, Samuel?
Well, I mean, it's a wonderful testament to the fandom and the community to take the one game that's been going for the entire length of the Dark Years, a game that added Discovery and Stranger Worlds and Picard and Lower Decks and all these different shows, for them the show to then say, hey, your Enterprise, rather than inventing a new one, just use the one that millions of fans in theory really like, or at least it's been their Enterprise, like the FASA of old, but actually licensed, like you can play on, right? It's even more visceral, right? You can walk around it, you can do thousands of hours of missions to make that full canon. I mean, Thomas Moroni, who kept updating the model and redesigning bits, Adam Marl, the original, that's a wonderful team, and I think fandom should be forever grateful that Terry and Dave did that, because it could have been anything, as in not the Enterprise even, and to throw it in. Obviously, it would have been nice to have more than 4 shots, so they could have it was a beautiful model. It's not as if the game asset was letting them down. It looked phenomenal, really, really good. So it would have been nice to have some moments of it. Even given they redressed the Titan Bridge to be the F, they could have done some shots of some officer person who was taken over beyond the F bridge and show some close-ups of doing some stuff. You could have given it a moment, right? But for the moments we did see it, until it's maybe destruction or not, it was lovely. Here's Frontier Day, space fireworks, and the fact that the entire fleet was waiting for this moment. That's rather sweet. One of the fleet admirals going on the decommissioned Enterprise, come out of space dock, talk to everyone else. That's rather lovely. And this is the collage of ship shots that we get of this Enterprise. How does it look? Now we can see.
Looks great. Looks big. It looks, it's still graceful. It was a cool launch. It almost felt like a christening almost, coming out, which I think would have been a little bit more appropriate than a decommissioning ceremony. But hey, just because of the way it launched, it just felt so oh, that's great. Nice graceful pan, and with the background of all the fireworks and the festivities, the celebration, it's such an epic kind of Enterprise moment. And it's kind of sad to think what maybe happened to it once this all kicked in, because a year later it's not there. Clearly something happened to it, but I'm super happy to see it. I'm glad Thomas got a chance to use his version for this. And it looks great. I was super impressed to see it, and I'm kind of in the same boat as a lot of people now that were leading up to this. They were like, we want to see it in action. We want to see it do something. It being decommissioned is kind of sad, and I was like, whatever, it's fine. But I'm kind of in the same boat now. I would have loved to see more of it, because when I saw it first come out those doors, I'm like, oh wow, that looks really impressive. So,
yeah, because if you're only going to give it one shot, that's a shot.
Yeah,
and especially as it goes from a digital diagram into a CG, into a zoom in, beautiful, elegant, lovely, and space dock. It's a real love letter. And it could have been shown earlier. Could have been, there's loads of could haves. But either way, it looks lovely. The engines are faithful. The deflector is clearly too small, but
I thought the same thing. I thought it looked a little bit small, but
it's probably in proportion to a Galaxy or a Sovereign. But the whole hull is much bigger. It's also fascinating that you almost, by 90%, can't tell it's got a split neck that there's a hole in between. I mean, it just, the way the shapes are, it just looks like, there's 2 necks and it connects in the middle. Because you really can't tell there's a giant hole in the middle. Even from the front, it's almost entirely obscured. What do you think about that? Because that's just one feature, right?
Yeah, no, I knew to look for it when it was coming out, so I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, you're absolutely right. From most angles, you cannot tell. It just looks like a big, thick neck.
Because it really is it says Intrepid meets a Sovereign, right? The more intrepid-y saucer, and a more sovereign-y body. some very thin pylons relative, but it's meant to be a chunky boy. It's meant to be a step forward from a battleship into a multi-purpose role ship again like the Enterprise D, but with the sleekness of design of the E, and the double neck being the big specialty. But let's take us through a little bit of the history, though, Stuart. This is the concept shot to the first 3D model to the canon rebuilt studio model many years later, many refits later. This is the journey of the Enterprise F.
Awesome. If you want to learn more about the Enterprise F, go watch our reviews with Adam, the designer of it and creator. But yes, this is actually interesting to see the differences between the initial concept and... well, it didn't change it much from the first view of it to Picard, I don't think.
Well, it's one of those things that Thomas Moroni, who's took a big, he's been working on that game for a long time. It's their Enterprise, right? So he rebuilt this several times. He updated it over the years, and so he personally did this for Picard, because game assets are not designed for TV, and also it's the Enterprise, and not knowing what sort of shots, you can feel instantly. The middle one is very low poly. You can see all the hard edges. It's okay. Right? It's not good. It's okay. The bottom one, you can't tell it's not. Now the lighting is obviously not great because it's being lit off. Whereas but even with that not so good lighting, like you can see it's high poly. You can see it looks nice. It's not time for close-ups clearly, but it looks really nice. Oh, and I just realized the middle one, the windows above the neck go way further than they're meant to. they kind of yeah. Whereas the new one, he's moved the windows to actually go along the line of the. That makes way more sense. But it's interesting though, because the concept art, the nacelles are different sort of, like there's a lot of differences. What it's trying to be maintained, but the one that ended in Picard is clearly far sleeker, far more refined. The shapes are nicer. But all the elements are there in the original, right?
Yeah, and I actually don't mind if they explain over the course of 15 years it had a few refits and a few upgrades, and
didn't that be shocking?
Yeah, so sad that it was there. Sad that it was there for an early decommissioning because of a mission that kind of went awry. But 15 years is a pretty good run for a flagship. The Enterprise D only really got 8 years, so circumstances happen. But yeah, I mean, I wish there would have been a line of dialogue explaining what happened to it after the battle. I have a feeling it was destroyed, or at least like damaged extensively somehow. Even though it would have, I don't know, would you have more experienced crew on a ship for decommissioning for Frontier Day? Kind of opens up some questions as to what part that it played in that. Like, did it try to protect Starbase, or did it turn and attack? I mean, we saw Shelby get taken out, so it's hard to say.
I mean, I would have thought the final crew of the final Enterprise mission would be the crew that was there.
Would be there, yeah.
For the longest. You wouldn't swap it out and just let them on its final voyage be at space dock with tea sipping and looking.
It could be too that we saw space dock firing quite a bit, and destroying some ships. You'd think you'd target the Enterprise, like the hero flagship for the last 15 years.
The Queen, one might say.
Yeah, the one that's probably closest to you as well, because it just launched out. I'm sorry to say, it's probably destroyed. So, sad end, I guess. But
I could also see the Starbase, who's the one firing, saying, "Let's choose not to kill the flagship, on the off chance we make it."
Yeah, you want to be known for pushing that button, son.
Well, exactly. You killed the Enterprise crew, because what if there's another LaForge on there? Not LaForge, but like other descendants of other famous people. Wow, the first Enterprise to have a new Reed on, and we killed them, and the first one to have another Shatner. So I could see them maybe not shooting. Although, really, Stuart, Starbase can shoot to not destroy.
Oh, that should be.
You can target weapons and shields.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not that hard. I mean, it's an emergency, but if their shields, if you can take all that fire for 20 minutes, you can pick your targets. You're not in a rush. You're in a be quick. You're not actually rushing.
I just wish there would have been some line explanation of what actually happened to it, because just a year later, and it's like people are confused. People are like, So now there's 2 Enterprises?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you missed the decommissioning aspect. So...
Yeah,
but yeah.
Beverly and... would have been funny if Picard had said to the guys, "Oh, it would have been great if you got on the Enterprise, but the F got decommissioned." Oh, it would have, yeah. Yeah. You know, if only it was not on the way to the museum right now. Yeah, yeah. Not gonna, yeah. Da-da, the G. Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a scene they should have said something. You know, it's a sad thing that everyone got killed on the F a year ago, or, oh, I'm glad everyone survived on the F a year ago. Yeah, certainly missing, but, they can only have so many ends to the end. That's not true, Stuart. Add more. Keep going. What happened to everyone else, etc.
Guys, comment down below. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell icon to all. And join us for more videos and lives when you want to.
If and while you're here, watch every video on the whole channel. Start the playlist. Watch the 2,000, 3,000. Just play them all. If you don't want to do that and still want to support, there are a few more easy ways, right? The super chats during any live, you say, hey, $5. I have a thought. We read out the thought. We have a 2-hour discussion. Oh my goodness. Incredible. Also, thanks things on any video, most 2,000 videos. Super thanks. It's right there. Click it. Yeah. Or one-time donation at trekyards@hotmail.com. That is the PayPal. Or even you could be monthly at Patreon/Trekyards or join the channel at join on our channel, YouTube. It's a button. Click it. Select. Be part of the fleet. Take it in advance.
So until next time, he is Commander Calkins.
He's Captain Foley. Bye, guys.